How would you feel if they ripped away your 2 or 3-year-old?
One thing is for certain, Austin, Texas is a liberal city. The liberals came out in a giant blue wave, crashing on the steps of the Texas Capitol to express their skewed understanding of the Trump administration's zero-tolerance stance on our southern border. Their demands? Open borders, the abolishment of ICE, and Donald Trump's arrest and/or resignation. Not many understood the real dangers their rhetoric would unleash on their first world comfort zone.
This isn't the country that we want to be a part of. We don't want the type of country that he's trying to create. We're something more than that.
This country was made by immigrants, built on immigrants. We stand for accepting people and enriching our country through their cultures and their strength and coming together. And there's not a single thing that Donald Trump and his administration does to uphold that.
Every 15 minutes a Mexican dies.
Okay.
130 politicians have been killed in Mexico.
Right.
This year alone, there is an election tomorrow for and Obrador is the favorite to win. Right. Obrador is a leftist who will turn back the policies of Nieto, who had actually doubled his deportation of migrants. Obrador is going to actually turn that around and open the border even more. Do you agree with that policy?
Open the Mexico-Texas border?
Yes. When you get closer to the border, you find people that live on the border that want more border protection because their lives are at risk.
You know, I wish that I had more knowledge to make an informed statement, but I don't know enough about the politicians who are running for the election tomorrow. I know a little bit about the border towns. I've been back and forth in Brownsville, Matamoros and the likes. And, you know, the whole economy down there depends on it. And everybody there is very civil and very respectful of each other. And that part of Texas would not really survive or exist if it wasn't for the Mexican people on the other side of that border crossing.
My great-grandmother, my grandmother grew up right alongside the river. And what my grandmother would tell me was when she was young, people would come up and they would give them food and they would, feed them, give them some water, let them sit in the shade for a little bit, and then they'd send them on their way. Now the same people that live down there on that border, they say it's a different type of people that are coming. It's a different generation that's coming through. Now when they see people walking up the gravel road, they go inside, they shutter the windows, and they lock the doors, and they just don't want any part of it. Not because of some sense of country or whatever the case may be. It's a sense of personal safety.
These ranchers and farmers and these citizens that live in these vulnerable areas are afraid to leave their homes. For in fact, they'd be breaking into Scott Arena, for example. I'll speak on his behalf. He's been broken in 4 or 5 times. One time holding the door closed while they're trying to break in.
Growing up in the valley, we spent a great deal of time on the river. You go down, you ski, you swim, you picnic, you camp out. People had camp cabins, people had portable trailers down there that they kept. It was a very relaxed atmosphere. If you go down the river right now, you will see it's all gone. It is all gone. No one does any of that anymore. No one.
It took a survivor of the great African War from the Democratic Republic of the Congo to shed some light on the importance of border restrictions.
As a country, you can't just say like open, I feel like there must be rules, there must be regulation, there must be a process of how people can get in a country. In a very country that is organized and an institution should be a well-regulated process on how people get in a country. But the way this current situation is handled, the situation is not a good way. There must be another good way.
Meanwhile, in Portland, Oregon, PDX Mike Bivens, who captured some amazing video, wrote on Twitter, "I've left the area around the Justice Center that police closed. I remember Patriot Prayers, Joey Gibson referring to this event on his Facebook, talks as a campaign event. I wonder how many other candidates for U.S. Senate have had their rally canceled and declared a riot," as Patriots Prayer and counter-protesters Antifa clashed in downtown Portland.
Don't give it to the Nazis.
Thankfully, there were very little signs of Antifa at this rally filled with Democrats and socialists.
Do you think these people are aware of what's really happening on the border?
Well, that remains to be said. I just saw a sign that said also immigrants, Ted Cruz, Melania Trump, Trump's second wife, Trump's mom. I believe, if not all of them, most of them were legal immigrants. So I think there's kind of a disconnect there. So legal and illegal, we need to distinguish. But I think there is a message to be told. Just not sure the disconnect. I'm not sure if many people know that Trump signed an executive order to not have families separated yet. But I don't think
see a lack of concern of the ripping away of families here in America. There's almost 500,000 children go missing a year. CPS rips families apart all the time. There's a recent case where 7 children were ripped away from their parents by CPS simply because they were homeschooled. Do you see any concern by the left for those issues of your fellow citizens?
I personally have not seen any concern from very many people at all about that. CPS I've never really known it to be a legitimate organization. They're in the business of breaking up families. They need a serious revamping. That's the kind of agency that needs to be done away with, in my opinion.
Along with an absence of blame for the drug cartel's totalitarian smuggling operation, feeding the unfortunate need to separate children at the border.
I live in South America, where we can see firsthand the implications of the drug wars. I mean, Mexico has been hit horribly. Central America and Mexico have been hit horribly, but it's all for the demand of drugs that's in the United States. I think it's just a little hypocritical and blind to go criticizing other countries in which their problems exist mostly because of the demand that we have in our country for what they have.
Where is the admittance of responsibility from the countries south of our border? Apparently, everything is the fault of the U.S. and its president. Even the massive third world issues of another country we have very little control of. John Bound reporting for Infowars.com.
Introducing Icarin, a 30-day liver and kidney cleanse, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. We have set out with top researchers and developers to bring you the strongest, purest, most potent, documented system for your liver and your kidneys. There are 2 different formula blends in one powerful capsule. It also funds the InfoWar, a total 360 win. Icarin, available now at InfoWarsLife.com.